This episode of Cereal at Midnight is brought to you by pineapples. Don't put them in your pocket. They're sharp. Pineapples. Hey guys, welcome back to another installment of Physical Media Monthly. Now you know the drill. We look at dozens of Blu-ray, 4K, DVD releases from all across the world, boutique Blu-ray distributors from all across the world. In this video, we're going to talk about Arrow, Kino Lorber, Umbrella Entertainment out of Australia, Imprint out of Australia. We're going to talk about Kino Lorber. Did I already say Kino Lorber? We're going to talk about so many different releases. But this is not everything coming out. I want to be clear. This is not everything being released across the world. This is just the stuff that I really wanted to talk to you guys about in most cases. Sometimes people send some things and I go, well, I'll throw it in the video too. So I appreciate the time that you guys spend with me watching these videos. I film them across the entire month and they all end up here in Physical Media Monthly. We're going to kick it off with not boutique at all, and then we're going to go into boutique land. In fact, there's 3 movies that I'm on. I'm on 2 Kino Lorber releases with my commentary with Max Allen Collins, and then a Hammer release with my friend Toby Rohn. But let's hit some major studio stuff first because they sent this over, and I know Steelbooks are both hated and beloved. I get it. I totally get it. So we're going to talk about The Patriot. We're going to unbox The Patriot 4K. We're going to unbox The Evil Dead. This is the original Sam Raimi Evil Dead from the what is it, 80, 81, somewhere in there. Oh, why would I say that? 1981. That's not bad, just off the top of my head. But why would I put myself in a corner like that on camera? Like, what year is it? And then I have to find it to verify it. Let's talk about these first. These came from, it says Universal, and both of these are from Universal. Super Mario Galaxy movie, I have not seen it. I did see the first one. I'm an 80s kid, so I grew up with Super Mario. I remember going to a friend's house circa like 1987, it might have been 86, and he had the Nintendo Entertainment System, the gray toaster, and he had Super Mario Brothers, and I was like, what is this? And so I got one for Christmas that year, and I've been living with Nintendo for 40 years of my life now. So, you know, I guess I'm old school. You know, this is, I have nothing to say about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I have not seen it. I don't know that I will see it. But a lot of other people have seen it because I think it's the highest grossing movie of the year so far. If it's not, it's at least a top 3. I think this movie is in the vicinity of like $1 billion at the theater. So when people are like, well, you know, the movie theaters are dead. Oh, no. The people are still going to see certain things. So this it's a 4K release. It has some special features here. Having not seen them, I can only speculate. I suspect these are going to be very light, probably made for streaming media. Like you probably watch these on, you know, you rent it or you buy it and you like, here's 3 minutes behind, you know, the voices of the, you know, cosmic tunes, galactic thematics, exploring the galaxy, the cast of characters, power-ups, secrets of the galaxy. So there's over an hour altogether. You got a slipcase. You guys see the Super Mario Galaxy movie? What do you think about it? Yumi and Tuscany. So I've seen the trailer for this because it appeared in front of a lot of the smaller, more independent, non-blockbuster movies that I went to go see. And it's like a mistaken identity kind of a thing. This woman goes to... She goes on a European vacation, basically assumed to be someone else, but she's not that other person. And then she meets Halle Bailey and Regé Jean Page. This is the guy from Dungeons and Dragons, right? I'm showing my pedigree here with like what I'm interested in. I'm like, that's the guy from Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, isn't it? I think it is. And I could be wrong about that. But anyway, this has got a few bonus features too. And it's not a 4K. I don't think this movie got a 4K. But anyway, which one of these do we do first? The 4th of July is coming up. Let's do The Patriot. That's, of course, why this is getting released at the time that it's getting released right now. Saw this movie in the theaters. I remember enjoying it. I thought Jason Isaacs was really good. I got to talk a little bit about Jason Isaacs in my commentary for Soldier, the Kurt Russell movie. And for Arrow put that out, and like, it's so funny because I did this like talking head segment about the cast of Soldier, so I'm talking about Kurt Russell, and I'm talking about, Kurt Russell had been famous since he was a child. He was a kid actor at Disney, and apparently Walt Disney's final words, were related to Kurt Russell, all these things. And then I got to Jason Isaacs, and I was like, I knew the first time I saw Jason Isaacs, he was in an episode of Highlander, the series, which I loved Highlander, the series, and then I talked all about his resume, talked about all his career. I don't know that I mentioned that he's Lucius Malfoy. Maybe I did but like, The White Lotus, like that. Everybody loves that show, right? And so he's on that. Or I should have mentioned that, but I didn't, because I'm from movies, man. He says as he references Highlander, the series. Here is the. It's like a matte finish. It looks really good. There are 2 different versions of the movie here. This is the J card, so I'm going to let you guys read that. Freeze it if you want to read all of that. Theatrical version of the film on disc 1, unrated version of the film on disc 2, director and producer commentary. I don't have to read all of that because I just showed it to you, but let's see what's under here. Whoa! As the J card goes flying. Okay. It's the first time I'm seeing this. So that's the steelbook unfurled, wings unfurled. We've got a digital code here that I'm going to set to the side. 2 discs in standard overlapping package. Are they both 4K? They are both 4K. So both cuts of the movie are on 4K, and that is is this? It's like, is this blood? Is this supposed to be a blood stain? No, that's the J card glue is what that is. So let me, you know what? Actually, I'm going to put it back there because I'm going to put this back on here too. So we've got 4K Ultra HD and digital here. This comes from Columbia, which is Sony. They are really leaning into the steelbooks because this is Sony too. The Evil Dead is also Sony. Now, I love this movie. Like, as much as I enjoyed Army of Darkness when I was younger, I still enjoy Army of Darkness, but like when Army of Darkness came out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. But I really think Evil Dead is the superior movie of any. I think it's better than Evil Dead 2 because it doesn't have the Three Stooges humor in it. Sam Raimi loves the Three Stooges. This one doesn't really have that, and I think it's better for it. This is the fairly straightforward. It's still campy. You still got the chainsaw business and all that stuff, but I just think this is the movie where Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell have been friends from school, and Sam Raimi like ties the camera to a piece, like a 2x4, and then they like run it through the woods like low on the ground. So it's got all these really innovative camera techniques that only a kid, only a young person would come up with because they don't yet know. You can't break the rules if you don't know the rules, right? If you're consciously breaking them. It was just innate for Sam. So that's really interesting to me. We got a commentary with Sam Raimi. I don't think anything here is new. But we got a commentary with Sam Raimi, Rob Tappert, Bruce Campbell, picture in picture. By the way, wishing health to Bruce Campbell. He's come out with some health stuff lately that he's been, transparent about, vocal about. Picture in picture, join us, the undying legacy of the Evil Dead. One by one, we will take you. Here, I'm just going to hold that up. It's just smaller print, but I hope that comes through for you guys. All right, I'm going to take the J card away. Oh, yes. Oh, nice. That's fantastic. All right, so we've got a digital code. Is that going to be on the inside too? I think it is. All right, here's the arts on the discs. And I think we're going to have that graveyard scene. Oh, classic. Classic. All right. Well, that is going to be sort of our introductory segments. Let's talk about something different. So I want to do like a little commentary spotlight here, because I thought I was going to be on 3 commentary releases this month. I'm actually on 4. 3 for Kino Lorber with Max Allen Collins, and my buddy Toby Rohn and I were on the Hammer release of 36 Hours. I'm going to save this for last because that's by far the most substantial physically. Max Allen Collins and I are on all 3 of these. I'll start with Vertigo for a Killer, which is a French crime film. I don't think I would put this in the noir thing. It's really mafia, the inner workings of, you know, the hitman business and what happens when somebody needs to be erased, that sort of a thing. It's directed by Jean-Pierre Desagnat, and the leads are Marcel Bossoufi, Silvia Casina, and Michael Constantine, who, I mean, Michael Constantine is in a ton of wonderful, fairly hard-boiled and gritty films. This is really one of the things I enjoy about being able to do commentaries for movies like this is that those movies are a time capsule, right? So this is 1970, and it is taking us into this sort of, it's a gritty crime world pre-Godfather is really probably how I would best describe it. And so Max Allen Collins, coming from his, you know, huge, you know, decades and decades, like it's like 50 something years of crime fiction, we're able to have conversations about these movies that I think are really interesting. So 2023 HD Master. Now this is not going to be in the Kino Lorber section of this video, nor the others here. This is the spotlight here for these. 2023 HD Master by Studio Canal from a 4K scan with a 35mm original camera negative. I'm going to read the back of the box to you, just for completion's sake. Marcel Bossoufi from The French Connection, Sylvia Casina, Trapped by Fear, and Michael Constantine from Violent City give perfectly hard-boiled performances to this Eurocrime gem directed by Jean-Pierre Desagnat. Les Estrangers, OSS 117 Double Agent, which I love the OSS 117 movies. Sort of a riff on the Bond. I think they exist because of Bond, but they're different. It's a different sensibility. When Hitman Mark, played by Bossoufi, refuses to liquidate his friend Rene, played by Constantine, but he becomes a target himself. In order to escape his former boss and the ruthless thugs, he seeks support from the sultry Sylvia Dusort, played by Cosina, who offers him shelter at the Riviera. When Mark decides not to. What Mark does not know is that the lady has a hidden agenda. Well, that's a spoiler, but this is a femme fatale sort of character. Swirling with Hitchcockian suspense and a Euro-Western score, which is very, like, it's one of the things we got to talk about in this movie, Max and I. Vertigo for a Killer delivers the neo-noir goods. What's the difference between a neo-noir, a crime movie in Europe, and a spaghetti western? What's the difference? The setting, the costume, that's it. This is a western, and you know, like they get in the car and they ride off in the car, and the score is like ding 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 ding, like it's got the gallop to it. It's so I hope that you guys want to check that out. Commentary by Max Allen Collins and film historian and the host of Serial at Midnight, Heath Holland. That's the only special feature on this, so I'll hold that up for you and you can check. You can peep that. This one is an interesting little oddity. This is A Man Could Get Killed. It's got James Garner in it, who James Garner helped bring this to screen. This was like a vehicle for James Garner. Now, if you know Garner's career after Maverick, before Rockford Files, there's this whole period in there where he's in a lot of different kinds of movies. That he was the romantic leading man. This is really trying to do like I think maybe like a comedy of a mistaken identity. The idea is that he is he's arrived in this he's mistaken to be sort of a spy, and but it's not really funny, and it's not really spy-tastic. It's weird. It's very odd, and it's got Melina McCrory, who was coming off of Topkapi. I never, pronunciation on that one's always tricky for me. Sandra Dee and Tony Franciosa. And the only thing that James Garner had to say about, I have James Garner's book, right? And he gives a little, in the back of the book, he gives his autobiography. He gives like a little paragraph about the movies that he was in and what he had to say about them. His takeaway from this movie is that he punched Tony Franciosa in the face because he was being disrespectful behind the scenes. that's all he really had to say. It's an interesting movie. It's an odd movie. I want to be very clear, it's odd. The 60s comedy adventure throws the great James Garner in the thrilling and baffling world of international espionage. Garner plays William Beddoes, an American businessman in Lisbon who is mistaken for a super secret British spy on the trail of smuggled diamonds. Soon this, quote, wrong man finds himself pursued by a host of colorful troublemakers like the glamorous Aurora Celeste, played by Top Copy's Melina Mercouri, and the shifty smuggler Steve Antonio, Tony Franciosa, who himself is pursued by the blonde American Amy Franklin, who's Gidget's Sandra Dee, delightfully directed by Ronald Neame, who did the Poseidon Adventure, and Cliff Owen. The film also boosts Burt Camford's big band score, which introduced the melody for the Frank Sinatra hit Strangers in the Night. It's sad that that's the thing that is probably the biggest pull quote for this, but it's true. Like the score for this has do 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 do, but it hadn't yet found a home with Frank Sinatra singing Strangers in the Night. It's before that, and so but like this was a popular. The score was a big deal. It's kind of like, I'm talking around it. I got to be honest with you guys. It's kind of a misfire for James Garner, but we don't just celebrate. You know, one of the reasons I wanted to do the commentary is because misfires are sometimes more interesting to talk about than just straightforward classics. And you've got Sandra Dee, who did not want to be, she's married to Bobby Darin, right? Did not want to be away from home for that long and ended up being like a nightmare shoot. So we got to talk about that. Melina Mercouri kind of owns the movie. She kind of steals the whole thing. Audio commentary by film historians Steve Mitchell and Troy Howarth. Audio commentary by mystery writer and filmmaker Max Allan Collins, with film historian and host of Serial at Midnight podcast Heath Holland, and the theatrical trailer. So that's 2 of the 4. This one, very close to my heart. This is the Texas Rangers. I'm so glad that I got to be a part of this release. Fred McMurray, Jack Oakey, Gene Parker, Lloyd Nolan, who he kind of steals this movie, Lloyd Nolan. Directed by King Vidor, and you know, you might be thinking like, well, is it Vidor? I always heard it was Vidor. It's Vidor. He pronounced I read in my research for this movie. I read an interview with him, and he said it's pronounced Vidor. So that's how we're gonna go with it. It's 1936. This is it's one of those Paramount movies that Universal has the rights to. So this is part of the Paramount catalog of releases. They're controlling this movie now. This is it was made for it's about the Texas Rangers, and it didn't shoot in Texas. That's one of the interesting things about it, is that this movie shot in various parts of the Southwest, but it's meant to be a celebration of, quote, the Texas Rangers, right? But they didn't shoot it in Texas. That's not really important, because it's celebrating the anniversary of Texas becoming a state, and really celebrating like the gusto of the kind of man that would be a Texas Ranger. Fred McMurray and Jack Oakey and Lloyd Nolan are like, they're grifters. They're traveling grifters, and they get pulled into these circumstances that are beyond their control, and they are faced with, like, you know, heroism or getting busted. And so they end up posing sort of as Texas Rangers, and then start to believe in the cause. Now, Jack Oakey, comedian from the 30s, you know, transitioning out of the vaudeville thing into whatever the early, you know, the talkie era of, you know, like, say what I got, whenever he's bringing their act to screens. I don't think, I might have even been out of fashion by the time this movie comes along in 36. But Jack Oakey, you see him factor into some of these movies that, you know, I'm not a huge fan of that kind of like, take my wife, please, like that kind of a thing. But that's what he's doing here. And then as the movie kind of goes on, he's allowed to be a little bit more serious. 4K restoration by Universal Pictures in collaboration with the Film Foundation, Fred McMurray, Jack Oakey, starring this magnificent Oscar-nominated Western from the legendary director King Vidor. The Big Parade, War and Peace. By the way, when we're talking about King Vidor, had made, he was still young. I think he was, you know, under 40. Had made one of the most important silent movies that had ever been made already. And so everything else is kind of gilding the lily. McMurray and Oakey played Jim Hawkins, and Wahoo Jones, the devil may care. Okay, kind of just summing up what I've already told you. We got an audio commentary by mystery writer and filmmaker Max Allen Collins, a film historian and host of Serial at Midnight podcast Heath Holland, and audio commentary by my buddy Toby Rohn, film historian Toby Rohn, and the theatrical trailer. Did Toby and I email each other, or we text most of the time? Did Toby and I text each other about, like, did you see this about this movie? Yes, we did. One of the things that I think was really fun, so this uses a lot of actual Native Americans in it. There's like 1,000 Native American, like, I guess extras is what you call them, for battle scenes and things like that. And one of the things that I ran across is that in the battle scenes, they were having so much fun that you could hear their laughter in the audio track, and so they had to like replace the audio because they're having, just imagine like 1,000 guys playing war and then laughing during their scenes. So listen, this is a wonderful film. I'll give you a little personal story too behind the scenes. My dad loves westerns and he loves older movies, and I was like, I'm doing a commentary for the Texas Rangers, and it's a really good movie. I think if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. And he made it like 15 minutes in, and he was like, I don't know about this. I bailed on it. And I was like, I think you should finish it. And he went back and finished it. And he was like, oh, that was really good. It's one of those movies that kind of reveals itself as it goes on. I feel like, you got to give movies the benefit of the doubt. But I just thought that was funny that he was like, I don't know about this. And then by the end, he was like, saluting to the U.S. Marshals. For Hammer, boy, is this a beautiful release. This is 36 hours. Dan Duryea. I love Dan Duryea. If you know him, he's famous for slimy characters. Hey, what's the matter? I'm not trying to hurt you, nothing. I just want to help you out here. He just played slimy characters. He was on a TV series in the 1950s where he really was like not a smuggler, but again, not an upright citizen. His whole career is kind of defined, if you look at all the many roles in the westerns, in noir, in all these like adventure movies or whatever you want to call them. He's really good at playing slimy. But that's not who he was in real life. In real life, he was a member of the PTA at his children's school. Very, very nice guy who studied the craft of theater, was really serious about acting. So 1954 comes along, and he goes to make this movie for what is essentially Hammer. Now, Hammer in 1954 is not the Hammer that it would become just a couple of years later, but Curse of Frankenstein, Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, Hammer has arrived, right? That's where Hammer really becomes, blood and sex and all of these things. But before that, before those movies, the Pirates of Blood, all these really well done exploitation movies, Hammer was doing all sorts of. They were doing musicals, and they were doing comedies, and they were doing action movies. They were doing this. It's a mistaken, it's not a mistaken identity movie. He's got 36 hours. He's a serviceman. He's gone to England to pick up. We don't know why. He's going to pick up the pieces of his former life, and while he's there, there's a crime that he is accused of, but he didn't do it. So I say like it's mistaken identity. It's not. It's like framed, right? It's like I got to clear myself of who's framing me to clear my name and then get out of here. In 36, the plane leaves. He will be AWOL and discovered AWOL by the U.S. military if he is discovered if he's not back in 36 hours. If he's not back on the plane in 36 hours. So that's what this movie is, and it's these Hammer releases. I tell you, they're stunning. I've been on 3 of them now. Mantrap, 36 hours, and one more that I can't tell you about yet, but it's done, and we're just waiting for it to come out. Also, alternate title, Terror Street, the way these were marketed across both sides of the pond, as they had different names. So one of the things that I love about these Hammer releases is that they are more than anything else I can think of. I mean, well, okay, some of those like $200 releases from Imprint where they give you like copies of the contracts or whatever, those are pretty definitive too. But this is a definitive history of this movie that's going to have all versions that exist of the movie. So we've got the 4K restoration, which is gorgeous. We've got the Blu-ray here. the full screen version of 36 Hours, the full screen version of Terror Street. Look at this. I'm sorry, what? What? That's incredible. And then look at this. This is like the press book, your campaign plan. So they're giving us the marketing materials for the movie with all of the half sheets and the lobby cards and the publicity for how they would suggest that you write this up in 1954. And then the booklet that comes with it. Look at this. I got less than 36 short hours to clear myself and find out who did kill Katie. They give you, okay, so we got essays. I mean, this thing's was 100 something, 118 pages it looks like. Play the fight for as long as it will hold and with as much suspense as possible. Adapted from a much longer version written for his book, The House That Hammer Built, Volume 2, Wayne Kinsey looks at the production of one of Hammer's most notable Brit noirs. Look at this. I mean, this is just... Look at this. Script changes. It's the definitive documents of the creation of this movie. 36 Hours... script breakdown, Hammer Productions. Look at this. So if it exists in the vault, normally these are kind of things that commentators like me try to get our hands on so we can inform ourselves behind the scenes. But this one, these Hammer releases, they just give it to you too. They're like, you should know this too. And it's just I'm just like page after page of this of documents, primary documents from the creation of the movie. Okay, I'm just gonna flip ahead because it's still just documents. Let's see. All right, there's the campaign. So they not only is this recreated here, but we have an actual recreation of what would have gone out. And you can even see, look at Lippert, right? The Lippert. This is better than this. Having this is better than this. Let's get to the. There's all the advertising, which we've already seen. Audiences wanted to see the irresistibly detestable Duryea. Mike Paris takes a close look at 36 Hours, lead actor, and separates the man from the myth. Wonderful, because he's wonderful. Look at this. We're talking about Scarlet Street, which is another one of those really slimy roles. Too Late for Tears, Manhandled. An American in London, Melanie Williams takes a look at at the importation of American stars into British films and to add marketability, a tactic much employed by Hammer throughout its classic period, man baits. Because that's what they're talking about, is that Hammer, before Peter Cushing and I got to do a commentary for a very early Peter Cushing movie with Toby, and it was awesome. So, but before Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee are like the face of Hammer, right? And all Ingrid Pitt and all these people. Before that, they would bring over an American to anchor the thing and help it to sell on both sides of the pond. All right, let's get to the special features here. By the way, it's still just dense with text. I'm telling you guys, you get these Hammer releases, you know everything you need to know about these movies. Limited collector's edition contents, 4K restoration, about the versions, commentary on 36 Hours with author and critic Kim Newman and Barry Forshaw, author of Brit Noir and The Rough Guide to Crime Fiction. Commentary on Terror Street by cult movie experts Toby Rohn and Serial at Midnight podcaster Heath Holland. Produced by Toby Rohn. Promotional materials, United Kingdom of... Here, I'm just going to hold all this up because that's what's on the discs. Look at that cover art, man. So I'm so thrilled to be involved with these Hammer releases, and there's more to come, so stay tuned. All right, that's just my... I wanted to... I try to shine a spotlight on my involvement with some of these releases. This is what's taking up most of my time these days. The commentary research and the commentary recording that's really where my heart is right now. And so I wanted to present a spotlight of that to you in this Physical Media Monthly. But now, hey, let's talk about something else. June June is a big month for Arrow, and I'm not going to cover everything that they're putting out for the month of June. Some of it was not my specialty or area of coverage, but I am going to be talking about Jackie Chan's breakout hits. This is the massive 4K collection, 10-disc 4K Ultra HD box set, the Mortal Kombat collection with a K, and then Marlowe, which I'm really, James Garner, oh man, Bruce Lee. So much good stuff, but I know this is a really big deal. This Jackie Chan 4K box set. I'm going to read some of this to you guys. He was the biggest movie star in the East for 2 decades, but Hong Kong action legend Jackie Chan had never successfully cracked the West until the 1990s kicked off the 6-film run of phenomenal smash hits that would finally make him an international household name, instantly synonymous with the most jaw-dropping and death-defying stunts ever put on screen. I lived this. I lived through the arrival of Jackie Chan on American movie screens. You know, these movies, you know, Rumble in the Bronx is the one that I really remember being the breakout hit. That was the one where, was I in high school? Anyway, we were all like, you know, it was a genuinely like a cultural thing. Limited edition packaging features newly commissioned artwork by Sam Hadley, 160-page perfect bound book, with interviews, reversible poster arts, brand new 4K restorations of each film by Arrow. They did their own restorations here. Original sound options for each film. Lots of translations. Here, I'm going to hold this up for you guys. Freeze that and read it. You can also go to Arrow's website to find out more about these and other fine releases from Arrow. Brand new audio commentaries for Drunken Master 2, Rumble in the Bronx, Thunderbolt, and Police Story 4, First Strike by martial arts cinema experts Frank Jang and F.J. DeSanto. Brand new commentaries on Mr. Nice Guy and Who Am I by critic James Mudge. Several new featurettes exploring the 6 films and Jackie's ensuing worldwide fame, featuring stunt persons Mars and Kathy Hubble, martial arts cinema expert Ricky Baker, Frank Jang, James Mudge, David West, and Dr. Wayne Wong, author of actor Glory Simon, Sega unit cinematographer Ray Wong, and others. All right, let's do this like the full 360. Okay, now this is like an O-ring situation, an O-card. All right, put this to the side. Now here's the contents. Ooh, I took the shrink wrap off of these before the video so that I wouldn't have to do that on camera. But this is my first time seeing these. That looks, what's going on here? Because we got the 4Ks, the book. What is this? Okay, let's do the movies first. All right, I'll do them just in them chronologically, I guess, the order that they're shown here. Jackie Chan, Drunken Master 2. There's the, I don't know if that's, ooh, I don't know about that. Maybe that'll show up. We've already covered so much stuff just by reading the back of the box. There's so much stuff here. Okay, brand new 4K restoration by Arrow Films. Okay, the 102-minute Hong Kong cut, the 100-minute international cut, and the American cut retitled The Legend of Drunken Master, which is 102 minutes. 3 different versions of the movie. Original lossless Cantonese, Mandarin, and English. Let's see. The Legend of Drunk. Oh, here we go. Breakout Part 1. Well, hold on. Before the breakout, a new featurette in which stuntman Wang Yao, academic Dr. Wayne Wong, and critics David West and James Mudge look back at Jackie Chan's earlier career. Interesting. So they're giving us context for where Jackie Chan was in, what year was this? 1994? That's later than I was expecting. Breakout Part 1, a new featurette in which Wong, West, and stuntman Mars look back at the film. Okay, lots and lots of stuff here. It is a 4K disc. There is no Blu-ray here. Ooh! All right, so we're going to have new and original art for all of these, it looks like. All right, let me shift that to the bottom of the pile. Rumble in the Bronx. Again, this is the one that I remember being the breakout. 4K limited edition contents, a brand new 4K restoration for the original camera negative by Arrow. 2 versions of the film, one uncut 106-minute Hong Kong cut, which I guess I've never seen, and the 90-minute international cut, which is what I would have seen at the time. Disc 1 is the Hong Kong cut. Disc 2 is the international cut. They're both 4Ks. And let's see. So looks like most of the special features are on the Hong Kong cuts. I'll let you guys see all that. There's the cover art. What does our reversible... That's not the art I was expecting. That must be... maybe I've never seen the original poster art. The original Hong Kong poster art. All right, I feel like I'm going to drop these. I'm going to put these over here to the side so they don't fall off. Thunderbolts. Never seen it. Brand new 4K restoration. It's going to be for all of these. Of the uncut 110-minute international cut, and then a 97-minute Japanese cut with lossless Cantonese audio. The documentary features contain Breakout Part 3. We got Breakout Part 2, Breakout Part 3, new feature with the stuntman Mars, critic David West, James Mudge, and dubbing supervisor Paul Clay. All right. Cover art. All right, First Strike, Police Story 4, First Strike. I don't think it had the Police Story 4 branding on it when it hit America. I don't remember it being called Police Story 4. Brand new 4K restoration from Arrow. Disc 1 is the Hong Kong cut, which is the 107-minute uncut original cut of the film, and then the 84-minute international cut. Breakout Part 4, continuing the special features, all kinds of stuff. All right, cover art. Two more to go here. Mr. Nice Guy, I certainly remember this one. 4K, new transfers. Disc 1 is the Japanese and Hong Kong cuts. So we've got 3 versions here. The uncut 97 minutes Japanese cut, the 96-minute Hong Kong cut, and the 88-minute international cuts. Breakout Part 5 is included on this. There's nothing on the international cut disc, but there's a ton of stuff on the theatrical, the original theatrical cut. Cover art. It's interesting because I know these movies from the American release and then the American video releases and stuff, but I don't think I've ever seen this art before. Jackie Chan, Who Am I? 4K restorations. Disc 1, okay, hold on. We've got 2 versions, the uncut 120-minute Hong Kong cut and the 107-minute international cuts. The Hong Kong cut has Breakout Part 6 and a ton of other stuff. From Drunk to Slam Dunk, Jackie Chan and the New Millennium, a new featurette. The Making of Who Am I, 3-part archival behind the scenes featurette, alternate English credits. Okay, disc 2 has Who, When, and Where, an expanded interview with Wong, Jostling with Jackie, an expanded interview with Simon. Okay. All right. So we still have this. Oh, this is going to be like ephemera. Okay, we'll do this last. Here's our poster. It's an Anatomy of an Action Hero poster. Oh, this is cool. I like this. So this is just like an old school Jackie Chan poster. It's not a movie poster, I don't think. Maybe it is. Because there's it's Drunken Master 2. It's the Drunken Master 2 poster. I really like this. All right, here is this? Oh, this is the book. Oh, look at this. It's paperback, but it is perfect bound, which means that it's square bound and not flat. Ooh, man, there's a ton of stuff in here. See if I can do this in reverse. That is packed. What do they have, like promotional materials in the back, the posters and all that stuff? I mean, I know there are posters in the front. No, but there's a ton of stuff about the versions. All right, that's good to have. All right, so that's very cool. Let me put this back in the box so it doesn't get bent or anything else. All right, what is this going to be? Our posters and stuff? What is this? Oh, it's cards. Oh, come on now. Oh, there's a ton of these. Oh man, look at the stack here. They've all got things on the back. I guess they're all gonna have their respective movies on the back. Okay. All right. Well, let's do this efficiently. These are probably all gonna be the same on the back. Yeah. Still got the same back here. Oh, switched movies here. That's awesome, and there's a ton of these. So let me get these packed back up. Is this one of the biggest sets that Arrow has ever done? I'm trying to think what. Well, I mean, obviously some of their martial arts sets, the Shaw scope, those are big, but something like this, like one actor, one collection. I don't know. It's very nice. Let's move on to the Mortal Kombat collection. The first two, this is, of course, timed to tie into the Mortal Kombat sequel that just hit theaters like the last couple of months. I have no cultural memory of the first Mortal Kombat. I guess this is a reboot or whatever. These are the only ones. When I saw the trailer for Mortal Kombat 2, I was like, they made a Mortal Kombat 1, the Carl Urban one that just came out. I have no memory of the first. I guess I didn't see it. But I did see both of these in the movie theater. I really liked the first one. I only watched the second one once, the day that I watched it in the theater, and I never went back, so that may tell you what I thought about it. It'd be interesting to see how it holds up now. What is this, like 1995 and 1997, 29 years after the sequel. A high-impact fusion of martial arts, mayhem, fantasy, spectacle, and video game mythology, the Mortal Kombat films brought arcade combat to the big screen with bone-crunching action, iconic characters, and pure 90s attitude, helping to turn a controversial fighting game into a global pop culture phenomenon. And there's more, but I'm not going to read it all, so we'll check out the discs. That is such small print. All right. Get over here! Nothing on the back, just black. All right, set this over here to the side. We've got our book. We got our reversible poster. Let's check that out. That looks good. And then this is the new hotness, right? Nothing in this world has prepared you for this. I will say, Goro, this is his name, right? Goro on the big screen in 1995 was pretty cool. That people were talking. We were talking about that. All right, so here's Mortal Kombat 1. Brand new 4K restoration from the original camera negative by Arrow Films, approved by director Paul W.S. Anderson. Dolby HDR10, Dolby Vision, original audio, surround, original. People are like, you don't talk enough about the language. I don't talk enough about the audio options. Original DTS HDMA 5.1 surround audio and lossless stereo audio. Optional subtitles. Okay. Brand new audio commentary with director Paul W.S. Anderson. Brand new audio commentary with comic book expert and podcast host Dave Baxter. Cage Match, a newly filmed interview with the actor Lyndon Ashby. Leveling Up, newly filmed interview with the cinematographer John R. Leonetti. Quarters to Millions, a newly filmed interview with producer Lawrence Kazanoff. The Heavyweight, a newly filmed interview with designer and super performer Tom Woodruff. Mortal Kombat, a journey behind the scenes featurette, on-set interviews, interview bites with the cast and crew, and B-roll footage. I wonder if that's electronic press kit stuff that was used to promote the movie back in 1995. Reversible sleeve with newly commissioned artwork by Matt Griffin. This is Matt's art. All right, let's see what we got here. So this is just the 4K disc, no Blu-ray here. All right, Matt's artwork and the OG poster art, and kind of game art too, right? That was also, it was pretty close to the game art. All right, set that gently to the side. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. 4K restoration by Arrow from the Arrow film. Let's see, from the original camera negative, approved by director John R. Leonetti. HDR, Dolby Vision 10, all that stuff. Brand new audio commentary with director John R. Leonetti, moderated by filmmaker Jillian Wallace Horvat. Brand new audio commentary with comic book expert and podcast host Dave Baxter. The Queen of the Night, a newly filmed interview with actor Musetta Vander. Techno Tycho Orko, a newly filmed interview with composer George S. Clinton. The Man of 1,000 Deaths, a newly filmed interview with stunt performer J.J. Perry, who played Syrax, Scorpion, and Noob Sabot. On-set interview bites with the cast and director, and B-roll footage, trailers, and the new art, which is also by Matt Griffin. Yeah, and then we got a little something in here, guys. All right, hold on. Matt's art, OG art. Oh, more posters. Nice. All right, so this is the original. Did Mortal Kombat 1? Or I guess that's what the other thing was. Okay. What's in the booklet? So I guess this was, because these are, but they're different material, which is why I'm a little. See, there's no. This is like the matte. The art by Matt. This is the matte finish poster, and then this had the glossy art. What is in this? Oh, we just lost this actor just like a month ago, maybe, as I'm recording this. Arrow's official movie companion. We got Mortal Kombat, for kids. The story of the journey begins by Simon Ward. A martial arts masterpiece from a gamer's perspective by John Turani. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, an underrated sci-fi sequel by John Turani. All right, John, I'm gonna see what you had to say about it. Behind the scenes gallery about the presentations. All right, so we've got. There we go. Arrow always keeps these. Oh Lord, have mercy! Look at this mid-90s graphic art, right? The graphics here, it takes me back. Oh, and here's the cartoon. Oh my goodness. Unexpected walk down memory lane. And here's Christophe Lambert. There can be only one, but not Highlander movies and not Mortal Kombat movies. I was born on the shores of Luxshire. I lost my train of thought because I got overwhelmed with nostalgia all of a sudden. Oh, Arrow always keeps these. You know, they'll keep these movies in print, right? Like if you're on the like, this is the limited edition. I'm not crazy about limited editions. I'm really not. I think that probably comes through. This is a very nice book, but what I don't like is the FOMO aspect of all of this. But it's not necessarily like a forced FOMO, because these will still be available in this form, in the disc form, without, you know, you might not be able to get the box set. For some of these, like this, and of course the Jackie Chan collection here, the extras really are quite substantial and help to, you know, like, does every movie need a hardbound, not a hardbound, but like a perfect bound book, and like all the accoutrement, like all the cards and everything? Like, I don't think every movie does. But if this is your jam, if you're a huge Mortal Kombat fan, I don't know why you wouldn't want all of this stuff, because it's part of the presentation, right? And then like a fairly standard release of Marlowe, which I am really looking forward to revisiting. I'm a huge James Garner fan from like Maverick and the Rockford Files, and of course, we're either going to be talking about this earlier or later in this video. But this is going to be part of Physical Media Monthly. And I contributed a commentary to a James Garner movie with my friend Max Allen Collins. We contributed to A Man Could Get Killed, which is this. It's kind of a comedy. I think it's in the shadow of James Bond, but it's not quite sure what it wants to be. It wants to have the Garner self-awareness and like self-deprecate. You know, Garner had a tone, right? So there's like I'm seeing kind of a James Garner renaissance happening right now, where a lot of people are in the circle, in my circle. People are watching the Rockford Files. People are watching Maverick. There's like a reassessment happening right now, which is interesting. That all, like, why? I mean, we have new Blu-rays and things, but why? It's just it's interesting how some of these things happen. Following the footsteps of Dick Powell, Murder My Sweet, and Humphrey Bogart, The Big Sleep, James Garner brought iconic private investigator Philip Marlowe into the age of Aquarius in this 1969 neo-noir based on Raymond Chandler's classic novel, The Little Sister. Garner's easygoing style is a perfect match for Chandler's shop-soiled Galahad, paving the way for his performance in classic TV shows The classic TV show The Rockford Files. Meanwhile, the many suspects are brought vividly to life by the likes of Carol O'Connor from All in the Family, Rita Moreno from West Side Story, Jackie Coogan from The Addams Family, Gail Honeycutt. Jackie Coogan being the little boy from The Kid, the Charlie Chaplin movie, right? He's Uncle Fester, right? But I always think of, wasn't he the little boy in the Charlie Chaplin silent movie, The Kid? Yes, Addams Family, yes. Gail Honeycutt from The Legend of Hell House, and none other than Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon, makes his American feature film debut. Brand new restoration of the 35mm camera negative by Arrow Films. Lossless mono audio. $100 a day plus expenses. A brand new appreciation by film historian Howard S. Berger. Theatrical trailer, image gallery, reversible sleeve featuring original and new commissioned artwork by John Pearson, and then a collector's booklet with new writings by Jeff Chang and Priscilla Page. Front, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful artwork. And then there's the back. Let's see, this is probably going to be the original poster art when I flip it around. Look at that. Yep. So let's go ahead and flip it. So we've talked about the limited edition contents. There's the disc. It's a Blu-ray, not a 4K. And then we have, what are they teasing here? In the Mouth of Madness is what they're teasing, along with this flyer. Oh, this is nice looking. There's the articles. Philip Marlowe, Man Out of Time by Priscilla Page, and Sterling and Bruce by Jeff Chang. Ooh. Cinematographer William H. Daniels. Screenplay by Sterling Silliphant. Philip Marlowe, Man Out of Time. Whew. All right, this is history. This is movie history in a way that gets me very excited. I have enjoyed talking about Jackie Chan in the Mortal Kombat movies. I feel reverential about this, which you can probably observe. This is holy, you know. I'm like, ooh. This is wonderful. Arrow, and again, there's more things from Arrow that this is just what I knew that I could talk about and do justice to. There's some other things, I would believe a couple of horror titles, but this is something. So I'm going to wrap up the Arrow coverage here. You know what? Let's talk about something else. What do you say that we talk about some Australian releases? So we're going to talk about Imprint and Umbrella. I'll do the Imprint first because there's more of them. I've got 3 Imprint titles and I've got 1 Umbrella Entertainment title. So for Imprint, we're going to talk about The Ninth Gate on 4K. We're going to talk about the Youth Gone Wild box set, which is juvenile delinquency movies from the 1950s. And we're going to talk about Tales of Adventure Collection 11. All 3 of these are big, I'm excited about them and I have a lot to say. So I guess we should start with The Ninth Gate because it's not a box set. I mean, it is, but it's one movie. Roman Polanski, acknowledging that Polanski is a divisive figure, I still really like this movie. I tend to be drawn towards horror and thrillers that have a foot in like the book world, and in this movie it goes into like the world of underground book dealers and the occult and like, you know, devil worship and all this stuff. I think that's very interesting. There's another movie that just came out in theaters called Hokum. It's probably my favorite movie of the year so far, recognizing that these things are very subjective, and I connected deeply with it, where the character is it's Adam Scott, and he's a writer who is dealing with ghosts, both literal and, you know, metaphorical, symbolic ghosts. I like that. I like things about writers. I like things about book dealers. I like things about the weird cult underground world of books. We've got a bookstore where I live that's been there for decades, and it's a little bit creepy. The bookstore is a little bit creepy, and I like that. This is the 4K release, but about this a 2024 Imprint released this Roman Polanski box set, directed by Roman Polanski, that's got Bitter Moon, Death and the Maiden, and The Ninth Gate here, but not on 4K. So this is the 4K release of The Ninth Gate. And Imprint always tries to do these things, you know, when they release a 4K like this, they try to give you a lot for the money. They try to give you like bells and whistles and stuff. So this is a 3-disc set. We got a 4K Blu-ray special feature. We got 4K. We've got a second 4K disc with special features on it, and we've got the Blu-ray special features. So it all breaks down like this, and we'll get into it in just a second. But I mean, we got a hardback book in here. Oh, hold on, let me get this glue glob off. That's the back of the box. I don't really know how much I want to say about this movie plot-wise. I guess I should be kind of vague. It's Johnny Depp. It's before Pirates. So what's the year on this? 1999. Well, that was a good year for movie. 98 was a great year for movies. 99. It's serious Johnny Depp. This is not a comedy. There's no camp here. It's not even one of those that's like so dark that it becomes funny to me. It's just a fairly literate, straightforward thriller story that I appreciate. Kind of feels... Polanski, it kind of feels like a throwback to the movies of the 1970s. That whole supernatural cycle of the 1970s. Gregory Peck could have been in this at some point. Anyway, so here's the cover. I bet this is reversible art too. Let's see. Yeah, well, there's... Oh, that's nice. Nice. Wait, hold on. What year was The Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino? Was that 99 too? And Keanu Reeves? I think that was also 99. Interesting to me, this is just a straight up Lionsgate Limited disc. So I've covered a lot of Lionsgate Limited over the last year or so. So we've got that disc. We've got this Imprint. I think is that the Blu-ray? And then here's a Blu-ray. Anyway, okay. The special features break down like this, and I am looking at it, and I bet you might not be able to read that. An unscrupulous rare book dealer is hired to locate the last remaining copies of the 9 Gates of the Shadow Kingdom, a demonic manuscript that can summon the devil. 4K special features, Dolby Vision, HDR, audio commentary by Roman Polanski, making of archival featurette, satanic drawings, art gallery, promotional interviews, Dancing with the Devil, an interview with actress Emmanuelle Senior, a page-turning perfectionism interview with actor James Russo from 2024. Those were new at the time when the box set was released. 4K special features, storyboard selections on this other disc. Unlocking the Ninth Gate, an interview with a cinematographer. We've got a separate audio commentary with Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson. Another audio commentary with author Dr. David Huckvale. The Devil is a Woman, female representation of Satan in cinema by Sally Christie. Encyclopedia Satanica, occult classics, Lucifer's Version. And then what is Inside Roman Polanski archival featurette. So there's a lot of stuff just on the disc. The book is a little bit, it's not super thick, but it's loaded with text, which is A-okay in my book. I say that, and then it's just a lot of pictures, right? But hold on, is there a single page without a picture? It's a lot of text, though. You can see. So it's nice. It's really well done. Oh, hold on. What is this? The Ninth Gate approved set of international press notes. Short synopsis. Interesting. Oh, look at that. Okay, so that's the Ninth Gate. I probably, you know what? I was gonna say I probably spent too long on it, but no, I don't think that I did. You guys, the Youth Gone Wild movies I think all of these. Tired of dealing with society's troubles, these teens stand up and say no. Containing 4 worldwide first films on Blu-ray in this limited edition hardbox with an exclusive hardback book. Live Fast, Die Young from 1958, Juvenile Jungle from 1958, Young and Wild from 1958, and Teenage Crime Wave from 1955. Everything's got a special feature except for Teenage Crime Wave, and that's the one I might be most interested in. I wish I could have contributed a commentary to that. This is a genre of special interest to me because it deals with the youth movement of the 1950s. You think about, Brando, you think about Rebel Without a Cause, think about The Wild One. There's a thing happening in the 1950s in which the youth were restless. Their parents, it's a specifically after World War II thing, and you see it. I mean, it is Rebel Without a Cause. It is all of these, the 1955. It's defined. You've got, the Blackboard Jungle. There's a thing that's happening where the older establishment is starting to be a little bit afraid of the younger people, and there's a whole bunch of interesting movies. And by the 60s, I feel like you've got the beach movies, and you've got like the AIP, the kids aren't going to hurt you. They're all right. They're not going to hurt you. They're just going to bash your head in. So these are all so rare. I went down when I first started to get really into the idea of these kinds of movies. These are hard to find. Like some of these movies, and you could probably find them on VHS or something, but in the HD era, pretty rare. So Live Fast, Die Young, the sin-steeped story of today's beat generation. You got to watch out for those beats. Maynard in Dobie Gillis was the beat, right? He was Bob Denver before Gilligan, and he was just lazy. He just laid around. It was insinuated he did a lot of recreational puffing on things, but and listened to jazz and stuff. But in real life, see, that was played for comedy. But in real life, not necessarily the safest people to the establishment. Tired of being humiliated at school, troubled teen Jill drops out and runs away from learning to hustle drunken businessmen at bars. She's tracked down by her sister Kim, who soon gets a taste of the life Jill has been living. We got audio commentary by film historian Rob Kelly. Congratulations, Rob. I got to do a commentary with Rob on Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. It was me, Rob, and Amanda Reyes. Murderer's Row, guys. Paul Henreid on the Teenage Crime Wave, the Teen Crime Wave video essay by author and film scholar Alexandra Heller Nicholas, and the theatrical trailer. Let me show you the inside of the disc, or the packaging here. You know, we gotta do the cast too, because that's important. These young actors. Paul Henreid. Let's see. Co-starring Mary Murphy, Norman Eberhardt, Sheridan Comaratz, Michael Connors. Directed by Paul. I did not realize it was directed by Paul Henreid. The actor. Oh, this is Universal International release. Holy cow. Okay. Juvenile Jungle. I got to do a commentary for a Paul Henreid movie where it's interesting that by it comes out of the classic movies of the 1940s. By the 1950s, he's starting to get a little bit. He's taking work that he can get, is I guess what I'll say. And he ends up in Hammer movies, and he ends up in Poverty Row. Let's say genre movies for non-studios. It's the trajectory of some of these guys coming out of, the big pictures, huge movies, and then where they would go. I was always connecting these dots. It's interesting to me. Juvenile Jungle, a girl delinquent, a jet-propelled gang out for fast kicks. Trying to make a quick buck, a gang of delinquents plans a kidnapping. Unfortunately, one of the kidnappers soon falls for their victim, which puts the plan in jeopardy. So we've got an audio commentary by Sam Deegan. We got The Rebellion of the American Teen video essay by author and academic Thomas Doherty. Thomas Doherty wrote books. I have his books about the 50s, about this. He's been a champion of this. See, I didn't even know this. I haven't looked at these before. I took the shrink wrap off, but I haven't looked at these before I started recording here because I want the authenticity of the, I want to really be excited and not pretending to be excited. Thomas Doherty is an expert on this, the cinema of the 1950s, the culture of the 1950s. He's a professor, and I thought about at one point reaching out to him and seeing if he'd like to come on the channel, but I never did. Maybe I still should, but maybe. What do you think? Let me know. What's our cast here? Hold on. We've got Corey Allen, Rebecca Wells, Richard Bacalayan. I don't know who most of these people are. Republic Pictures presents a Coronado production directed by William Whitney. Oh, nice. Young and wild, the scorching, reckless joyrides of wild girls on the road. Oh, let's throw Kitten with a Whip into this batch too. That's young Anne Margaret before the Elvis movies and everything. Just dangerous, restless, grifting people. The ride began one wild night when a bunch of young hoodlums, hot for fast thrills, stole a souped-up hardtop and lashed out on a rain of violence that terrorized the town. We've got a comment. See, directed by William Whitney, video essay by Michael H. Price. In Naturama, a guide to Republic Studios. Hold on. In Naturama, a guide to Republic Studios' short-lived film format. Video essay by Rob Murphy. Juvenile Jungle and Young and Wild, press book, Image Gallery. All right, the cast here is Gene Evans, Scott Marlowe, Carolyn Kearney, Robert Arthur, written by Arthur T. Horman and directed by William Whitney, as we already heard. Look at that. I mean, that's just like that cover. That's classic 1950s pulp art right there. And the Teenage Crime Wave with no special features whatsoever, which makes me so sad. The shocking drama of today's teenage terror. When an innocent bystander is falsely convicted of being an accessory to a robbery, she ends up being taken along for a ride with the gang where they're broken out of prison. How far will she go when an innocent family is taken hostage in their escape to freedom? This is directed by Fred F. Sears, who is one of Sam Katzman's one of his, it was probably his main director. Sam Katzman is another guy that I really, and I think Thomas Doherty loves Sam Katzman too. Fred F. Sears literally died working. The story was, I'm going to give you some stories here, or a story, that Fred F. Sears literally died at his desk working one night at the studio. That's been the story for years. Toby Rohn told me that in his research of Fred F. Sears, that's not the case. He did not die he did die at work, but he wasn't at his table. So I don't know if that distinction makes much of a difference, but isn't it, like, these guys just work themselves to death, you know? Fred F. Sears, you can go to serialatmidnight.com and check out, you know, I've just type in Fred F. Sears. I've written up at least 5 of his movies for my own site. Here's Our Youth Gone Wild book. Let's see, Wild in the Streets, the Origins of America's 1950 Juvenile Delinquent Cinema by Andrew Nettie. You see the madness, right? Madness in his eyes. Let's show you some more pictures here. Star Shells of Madness. I love this sort of colorized art here, or whatever this is. Hey, Pops! This is great. I love that Imprint is doing these hardback books now, because they're always welcome. And they're always pretty cool. All right, let's talk about Tales of Adventure Collection 11. We got The Black Knight, 55 Days at Peking, Taras Bulba, and Genghis Khan. Some of these I like, some of these are just okay. to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not, you know, the purpose of these videos is not to sell you on things, it's to tell you what's coming out and to allow me an opportunity to kind of give you my take on it. Prepare to don your armor and enter the fray as history's most legendary battles come to life in this 4-disc set on high definition Blu-ray. So The Black Knight from 1954, 55 days. Yeah, I'm not going to read all that again. So here's the back. And let's do a 360. I mean, this is beautiful artwork. All these Tales of Adventure collections are gorgeous. Tony Curtis. I'm not on this one. Nice. Charlton Heston. All right, take them from the bottom. The Black Knight is hold on. It's my there used to be an here, this Alan Ladd collection. Did I get that off the shelf? Let's get that down. I believe this is the Black Knight is on this as well. This is from Viavision. This is a DVD set with a ton of huge Alan Ladd fan. But this now replaces my DVD copy of The Black Knight. You know, I'll put that back in a second. There's no special features here, which makes me really sad because I would have been happy to do a commentary for it. Well, I don't know if I would have had time, honestly, but I would have loved to have tried. When the Earl of Yonil is attacked and loses his memory, a young blacksmith finds himself embroiled in a conspiracy to overthrow King Arthur. He soon heads off on a journey to find the evidence and save King Arthur and win the fair maiden's hand. It's Alan Ladd. Hold on, let's see. Alan Ladd with Peter Cushing. Andre Morel, Harry Andrews, produced by Irving Allen and Albert R. Broccoli, Bond fans, and Irving Allen too. Directed by Tay Garnett. Let's see, there's nothing back here. I would show you. A lot of people only know Alan Ladd from Shane. They only know him from westerns. I got to do a commentary for Botany Bay, which is about basically the foundation of Australia as a penal colony. And Botany Bay was the bay that the ship goes into with all the criminals on it. And Alan Ladd plays one of those criminals. He was in a lot of adventure movies. He was in, like, weirdly, Swashbucklers. He was just kind of a strapping guy. And I like to see him used to his potential. He never really felt like he was being used as well as he could have been. It was something he was constantly, he wanted to play Lawrence of Arabia. And obviously that didn't happen. 55 Days at Peking, Charlton Heston, Ava Gardner, and David Niven. So this has a ton of special features. A small group of foreigners trapped in the Forbidden City rely on courage and leadership of a U.S. Marine and a Russian countess to survive against insurmountable odds. So, you know what? I'll read that to you. High definition audio commentary by New York Times film critic and journalist Glenn Kinney. Wow, that's a big get for Imprint. Film historian Sheldon Hall on 55 Days at Peking. These are new. These are all new features. Trailers from Hell, 55 Days at Peking by Brian Trenchard Smith, who we're going to talk about in just a second. A City Built for Shooting, 55 Days. I should have worn my Dead End Drive-In shirt, which came with the Dead End Drive-In Blu-ray release. Was it Blu-ray or 4K? I don't remember. City Built for Shooting, that's a featurette. Archival interview with Charlton Heston. Archival interview with Lydia Clark, wife of Charlton Heston. Archival interview with actor David Niven. And an archival interview with production designer John Moore. I was going to make a "it's peaking, you're eating peaking" joke, Soylent Green joke, but I just made a Soylent Green joke in the last episode. I don't feel like I could do it again. You know, I think Soylent Green comes out on 4K next month. Like it's three degrees of Soylent Green. Taras Bulba. So this is Tony Curtis and Yul Brynner. What do I say about? I won't say anything. A powerful Cossack chieftain is determined. So why did Tony Curtis get cast in these? I said I wasn't going to say anything. Like Tony Curtis in, because he was good looking and he was able to. I guess people wanted to watch him. I love Tony Curtis. I'm not suggesting that he was not worthy of it. I have both of his he wrote 2 autobiographies. I got both of them. But his presence in some of these, it was of its time. These early '60s spectacle movies are very, authenticity was not necessarily the goal, just the spectacle was. Better, whatever you can't see at home on your 12-inch black and white screen or whatever, they'll give you in the theater. A powerful Cossack chieftain is determined to regain his land from Polish invaders, but conflict erupts when his son falls deeply in love with a Polish girl. Audio commentary by film historians Steve Mitchell and Stephen J. Rubin. Yul Brynner, The Man Who Was the King featurettes, and a theatrical trailer. We got Tony Curtis, we've got Sam Wanamaker, Brad Dexter, Guy Rolfe, Perry Lopez, Georgia McCready, Ilka Windisch, Vladimir Sokolov, Danielle Ucko, Vladimir Erman, and Christine Kaufman. Just got to talk about Christine Kaufman. It's interesting. Tony Curtis met Christine Kaufman on this movie, and they got married really soon after that. Jamie Lee Curtis has opinions about that. I'll let you go seek those out from her. And then Genghis Khan. This is what I want. There's nothing here. Well, okay. There's a isolated music track and a theatrical trailer. As a child forced to witness the death of his father and become a slave as a young man, and forming a tribe with one plan to unite all mongrel tribes and conquer the neighboring kingdoms. This is the story of Genghis Khan. Let's see. Stephen Boyd, James Mason, Eli Wallach, Francois Doliac, Telly Savalas, who elevates every single thing. We agree on this, right? Telly Savalas elevates everything that he's in. Horror Express? Come on, who loves you, baby? Yvonne Mitchell and Omar Sharif as Genghis Khan. Produced by Irving Allen and directed by Henry Levin. Spectacle. You won't see this at home. I would never have imagined that that Imprint would have kept the Tales of Adventure collections going for, 11 and going. It's still going. So it's kind of amazing. Let's go to Umbrella Entertainment now. Thanks to Imprint for doing incredible things. Umbrella has released this killer box set for BMX Bandits. This thing is loaded. Look at all the stuff that comes with it. This is the 4K. Now, the way that Umbrella stuff works is that you will be able to get the movie. If you just want the movie, you can get the movie. If you want the movie in the slipcase, you can get that too. But if you want all of this, you got to go with this release. This is limited to 2,000 copies. It is, let's see, it's a 2-disc release. How much of this? As a 100-page book. with new essays by Parker Constantine, Alexandra Helen Nicholas, and Cameron Mitchell. Script book featuring director Brian Trenchard Smith. I told you we talk about him. Annotated shooting script, rigid rigid case, custom illustration, slipcase, BMX bandits. Okay, and then like tons and tons of, here, freeze it. I'm taking it away in 3, 2, 1, and it's gone. Oh, we gotta see what's under here. Get the glue booger off. I've told this story before, right? But like one time my daughter had one of these little, these little glue globs. And she was like pretending it was a booger. And she made somebody throw up. Proud. I'm so proud. I'm like, yeah, you show them. All right, got everything out. Oh, hold on. Nice. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, let's start with the movie. BMX Bandits. I mean, what is there to say about BMX Bandits? So 80s, right? And what's the name of the Wind Riders? The other one? We need a Nicole Kidman spot. She's the AMC. She's like, we come to this place for magic. We need one where she's like, we BMX bike for magic. Just like pitching. Is Nicole Kidman available for spots for Umbrella to do these things? Like, this looks really good. The magic of, I said magic. I'm going to use magic too many times now because it's in my head. But like the appeal of the 80s. What year is this? 1986 maybe? Give me a year because I don't want to embarrass myself. 83. Okay. Earlier than I realized. Is this clean art on the other side? Yes. Got their certificate thing down here that says PG, but oh no, we're gonna flip it. So let me go ahead and swap that around. So we've got, whoa, this is in there. I was not expecting that. Okay, here's a poster. We know this, right? I don't think there's anything new. Poster. I mean, it looks great. Put the Bruce Lee card back in here. BMX Bandits on the 4K feature. It says the feature is on that disc. And is this also 4K? No, this is Blu-ray. So our features and extras, or the movie is on Blu-ray, and we have extras on that disc. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in here. Oh no, wait, we gotta talk about the special features because we didn't do that. I'm gonna hit these. Man, that's a lot in really fine print, which is great, but it's not great YouTube. Audio commentary with director Brian Trenchard Smith. Going where BMX bikes don't belong. An interview with director Brian Trenchard Smith. Smashing through protocols. An interview with director of photography John Seal, ACS. It will last forever. An interview with producer Tom Broadbridge. That was my tribe. An interview with actor Peter Brown. I'm not past it yet. An interview with sound engineer Phil Judd. $1,000. An interview with Eric Munn, bike supplier for BMX Bandits. BMX Wow. An appreciation from Eric Trenchard Smith. BMX Bandits. Location tour with Flynn Boffo. BMX Buddies. The Men Behind the Bandits documentary. BMX Life, a documentary on the world BMX champion and manager of the Australian BMX Museum and Hall of Fame, Cameron Mitchell. Father and Son, a documentary on BMX bandits enthusiasts and collectors, Diamond and John Philippus. Nicole Kidman's appearance of on Young Talent Time, and then photo gallery and trailers. We actually got through all of that. What if I just did all of these videos like that? Hi, we're going to talk about some releases from Umbrella. We're also going to talk about some releases from other labels. I wouldn't be able to keep it up. This book is dense, y'all. This is dense. I get punchier as things go, and I'm sweating because it's legit like 101 heat index outside right now, and I've got the air is not working in here because I've got it turned off for the noise. So, as is often the case, just a little bit sweaty, and a little bit. Long Live the Scallywag by Parker Constantine. Yeah, we need more scallywags. Would you consider yourself a scallywag? Look at this. Yeah, just like straight up blueprints in here. Behind the scenes with the Bandits, production stills. All right, here. You know what? I'm going to do like this. I'm going to do it like this. I mean, the bottom line is, if you want this thing, you better get it. What is this? Just One of the Boys, Nicole Kidman, and BMX Bandits. Okay, we also have BMX Bandit. Is this the screen? Is this just the whole screenplay? It is the whole screenplay. You guys have the screen. Doesn't everybody have the screenplay for BMX Bandits? Black screen, ominous synthesizer chord on a soundtrack, superimposed title, Nielsen Premiere presents, fade out title. Then a forked lightning flash brings on a gleaming chrome plated main title with a deafening Dolby stereo crash. BMX Bandits. Jeez. And then got stickers. Stickers, man. I'm gonna put these stickers on my Trapper Keeper. All right, so what would the marathon be? It would be like, it would be this, it'd be Gleaming the Cube, it'd be Rad. Wait, is Gleaming the Cube, that's skateboarding, isn't it? But either way, it's like 80s outdoor, you know, young people being active. It's outside, not inside playing Nintendo is what it is. Okay. This is fantastic. So kudos to Umbrella for such a beautiful release. And 2000, that's not super scarce. You know, I get pretty upset with some of these. I don't like scarcity, but I understand the cost involved in something like this. You don't want to just have, you can't just make them forever. 2000 seems like a pretty fair number, honestly. So if you want them, this is still around, or I believe it's still around. Hard to know by the time this video actually goes up, but thanks to Umbrella. Hey guys, let's talk about something different. Let's talk about some Kino Lorber. Now this is going to be a smaller Kino stack than we normally have. I think we got, you know, it's like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We talked about 3 more in the commentary section because I'm on 3 Kino Lorber releases this month. I should also mention, because I'm recording this after I've already recorded the commentary section where I talked about the 4 releases that I'm on. Those were not recorded in a month. Some of those were recorded months and months ago. It's interesting how the pipeline, you know, like you record things across various, you know, timelines, the timelines in the multiverse, you know what I'm saying, and they all sort of arrive at the same time. But I certainly did not record those in a month. That was months worth of work. But we only have 1 4K here. You know, we normally talk about like 20 something titles. Kino Lorber usually drops 4, 5, or 6 4Ks in a single month. As of the recording of this video, I just have the 1 4K. This is Hang 'em High, which in my mind is Eastwood applying what he learned under Leone and the spaghetti western sensibilities, you know, of those European westerns, bringing that back to a more traditional Hollywood system. And this is a Malpaso production, so this is his story, or his production. Brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master from a 4K scan of the 35mm original camera negative. Audio commentary by film historian Steve Mitchell, and a filmmaker and film historian Steve Mitchell. Audio commentary by film historians Lim Dobbs and Nick Redmond. And then we got TV spots, radio spot, and theatrical trailer. Here's the back of the box. And we do have alternate artwork here. It's a 4K and Blu-ray combo pack. But look at this. Like, this looks exactly like those, like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You know, it took a while for A Fistful of Dollars. Took a while to reach America. You know, Eastwood, famously at this point, you probably already know this, but I should probably give some context. Eastwood is on Rawhide, is Rowdy Yates. And then he kind of comes up through that system. And then he goes to Europe and makes these spaghetti westerns with Sergio Leone. And then by the time they've come back, they've, you know, played Europe and come back to America. It's like a different person, really. I mean, the Eastwood of Rawhide and the Eastwood of the Man with No Name movies, I mean, it's crazy. So this is sort of Eastwood. In my mind, the narrative of this is Eastwood trying to take control of that thing for his own, like, you know, for his own purposes. Brit Noir Collection 2. We talked about Brit Noir Collection 1 maybe 2 months ago, I think. This is going to be Home at 7 from 1952, The Intruder from 1953, and The Long Arm from 1956. So all prime era noir movies. The Mighty Jack Hawkins takes center stage in this triple feature of brilliant British noir. Home at 7. Rudolph Richardson reprises his role from R.C. Sharif's play of a bank clerk whose inexplicable amnesia leaves him without an alibi after a murder robbery. Co-starring Hawkins and the marvelous Margaret Leighton. This twisty mystery, aka Murder on Monday, saw Richardson direct for the first time and only time in his illustrious career of The Intruder from 1953. The horrors of war come back to haunt a former World War II colonel. I'm not going to read the other. It's here. I'll hold this up while I'm talking, and you can freeze that. What's interesting to me about British noir, and remember I've done commentaries for Mantrap, 36 Hours for Hammer. The British noir it's an interesting thing because while America absolutely went to war, allied with Britain, of course, Britain suffered hometown, the homeland bombings, right? Britain was bombed during the war. And so while America, the noir is influenced by these men and women, but, women served in their, I'm not trying to exclude anybody. Women served their country too, but the men went away. They went to lands they'd never been to most of the time, fought on foreign shores. In Britain, the war came to them too. You have the bombings and as we know, part of Mantrap, my commentary for Mantrap, is it's centered around like the bombing sites around St. Paul's Cathedral. So British noir for me is very interesting because they experienced the war very closely, firsthand, on home soil, and it absolutely factors. The stiff upper lip, keep calm and carry on, all of that, it factors into the culture, but it just makes their noir. It comes from sort of the same place, but it's different. It's a little bit more, maybe a little more haunting, possibly. I'll go ahead and read The Long Arm of the Law, 1954. Reunited with Cruel Sea director Charles Friend, Hawkins leads a Scotland Yard investigation into a spate of safe-cracking crimes across England, beginning with the latest heist in London. Known as the Third Key in the U.S., this film adopts gritty procedural style made popular by Ealing in the 1950s with The Blue Lamp. So we got special features, audio commentary for Home at 7 by film historian, writer Julie Kurgo and writer-filmmaker Peter Hancock, audio commentary for The Intruder by the same team, and audio commentary for The Long Arm by film historian Lawrence Lerman. I do not think there's anything, there's nothing alternate here as far as artwork, but that is that's not on the back of the slipcover, so there's the poster arts for the 3 features, and one of the movies has its own disc, and 2 of them share, disc 1 shares 2 films, but they're short, right? They are 86 minutes, 85 minutes, and 97 minutes. Noir generally rarely goes past an hour and a half. Matinee, I am not familiar with this movie. This is part of the Kino Cult line. This is Kino Cult number 51. I cannot believe there's been more than 51 of those things. It's showtime at the Halston Festival of Horror. It's a 1989 movie. 1989 here. Does this have alternate art? Midnight Matinee is alternate title. A 1989 meta slasher in the tradition of Fade to Black and Popcorn. Matinee opens with a savage stabbing in a small town cinema, forcing its closure after 2 years. The case has gone cold and the Paramount Theater is allowed to reopen. But as the lights go down, tensions rise, and the Halston Horror Film Festival once again becomes a deranged killer's cinematic stalking ground. We got Ron White, Jeff Schultz, William B. Davis, the smoking man from the X-Files. It's midnight. Hold on. Also releases Midnight Matinee to avoid confusion with Joe Dante's 1993 comedy Matinee. It's a Canucksploitation classic and a horror files delight. Audio commentary by film historians Jason Pachonsky and Paul Karup, and a theatrical trailer. This is very cool. Probably that Kino Lorber released all, is it four? One, two, I'm looking at them on my shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons, all 4 seasons of the Maigret TV series. This is the Jean Gabon films from, what is it, 1958, 1959, and 1963. This is great. I would have liked to have been involved in this too, to be honest with you. But we're all jealous of these commentary opportunities. This 3-film collection features the great screen greats Jean Gabon as George Simenon's legendary pipe-smoking sleuth. Maigret Sets a Trap from 1958. I'm not going to read the backs of every single one of these, but we've got an audio commentary by Howard S. Berger, Nathaniel Thompson, Brian Reisman and Mike Sargent, and Simon Abrams on the films. Here's what the back of the box looks like. And I believe each one of these is on their own disc. Yeah, each movie, Maigret said, well, the disc just fell out onto the floor. All right. Maigret Sets the Trap, Maigret and the, what is it? The Saint Fiacre case. Anyway, and then Maigret Sees Red. Now I gotta get this disc off the floor. All right, we're good. It's all good. We're good. Have you guys observed that this actually does click on the hub pretty well? But like sometimes you get a disc, and it's like the hub is I don't know if it's too small or too short, and it never really clicks onto that hub. Lino Ventura and Birds of Prey. 2019 HD master by Studio Canal from a 4K scan of the 35mm original camera negative. Iconic tough guy Lino Ventura stars in this ravishing action thriller from author-filmmaker Jose Giovanni, whose hard-boiled novels became Ventura-led screen classics. In 1938 Central America, a cynical hitman, Ventura, is hired to assassinate a head of state. Accompanied by a young revolutionary, he moves into a house opposite the presidential palace as the assassin awaits his target, and an unlikely friendship grows between the two men, featuring vivid landscapes and a score by Francois de Rubio. This unique France-Italy-Mexico co-production blends elements of political thriller with spaghetti western for a thoroughly entertaining genre concoction. Audio commentary by film historian Sam Deegan, and the theatrical trailer. And I do not think we have any alternate artwork here. This is interesting to me. This is Jory. 1973. Robbie Benson. Introducing Robbie Benson. It's his first movie. After his father is senselessly killed in a saloon fight, 15-year-old Jory. Robbie Benson, the voice of the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. And this time she didn't shiver at my paw. Did he sing in the Beauty and the Beast, or was that a different guy? He must quickly learn how to make it on his own, taking up with a horse driver, John Marley from The Godfather, and his right-hand man, B.J. Thomas. Jory is taught us the fine art of handling guns, horses, and liquor. Benson stars in his very first film role that launched his exceptional career. Jory is an exciting adventure and a sensational drama set in a spectacular Western landscape. Special features, no, there's just one. Special feature, Are We Gonna Survive This? Robbie Benson recalls Jory. That's cool. Who's our director here? Screenplay by Gerald Herman and Robert Irving, based on the novel by Milton R. Bass, directed by Jorge Fons. All right, I only got a few more, guys. Sidney Poitier and The Lost Man. This is a 1969 film with a brand new 4K scan, brand new HD master from a 4K scan, so this could show up on 4K one day. Of the 35mm original camera negative. The iconic Sidney Poitier stars in this gripping 1969 drama of street-style crime and justice. The secretive leader of a black militant group, Jason Higgs, Poitier, plots a dangerous payroll robbery. The money is marked for a mysterious organization that benefits the children of jailed black men. When the heist goes horribly wrong, Higgs and his men go on the run with the entire Philadelphia police force following their every move. The captivating Joanna Shimkus, Poitier's future real-life wife, plays a social worker who helps and falls in love with Higgs. Marked by late 60s racial tensions, this loose adaptation of F.L. Green's novel Odd Man Out was scripted and directed by Robert Allen Arthur, co-writer of For Love of Ivy and All That Jazz, featuring Paul Winfield, and music by the great Quincy Jones. Ooh, 1969 Quincy Jones. Ooh, that's gonna. I've never seen this. This sounds like, and it's not blaxploitation. This is just straightforward drama. Audio commentary by film historians and writer Julie Kurgo and writer-filmmaker Peter Hancock, and the theatrical trailer. Get a good look at that. That Quincy Jones score, I just like leveled it up in the stack. I'm like, wait a minute. Because Quincy Jones was, you know, producer work aside, like his compositions in the 1960s. Isn't the Austin Powers thing? Like, dee-dee-dee-dee. Isn't that Quincy Jones? I think it is. Unearthly Stranger, another one that I've never seen. And boy, this looks interesting. This is from Studio Canal, or licensed from Studio Canal. A cleverly conceived, eerily atmospheric sci-fi thriller. Actually, it says chiller. Unearthly Stranger stars John Neville from The Adventures of Baron Munchausen as a scientist engaged in an experimental project like no other. TP-91 is a secret and highly complex formula which will enable man to project himself through time and space. But when Dr. Monroe, Warren Mitchell, Jabberwocky, succeeds in solving the first part of it, he's found dead before he can pass on the inevitable results. His successor, Neville, quickly senses that both he and his new wife, Gabriella Lecciudi, from Casino Royale, are now in grave danger. The original intelligent and compelling thriller was directed by John Krish, Decline and Fall of a Birdwatcher, and features Philip Stone from The Shining, Patrick Newell from TV's The Avengers, and Gene Marsh from Willow. Yeah, well, okay. Is a wonderful supporting roles. 1963. Audio commentary by film historian Gary Girani, audio commentary by entertainment journalist author Brian Reisman and Max Every, and the theatrical trailer. So there's the screenshots on that. I don't think... Oh, we do have alternate artwork. I like this better, I think. All right, guys. It's the last one. Major Payne on Blu-ray. My mother-in-law loves this movie so much that she gifted me and my wife a copy of this when we first got married, which is a DVD copy, which is very funny to me. But this is, I mean, look, it's Damon Wayans. What are you going to say about Major Payne? It's 1995. I remember, so like, was In Living Color still on the air when this came out? I think it might have been. If it wasn't, it was like Damon Wayans coming out of In Living Color directly into this. It's so interesting because if you like In Living Color, which the sketch comedy show from the early 90s, Jim Carrey became a star out of that. You had all the Wayans that were, you know, in the orbit of that. You have David Alan Grier. There's a whole lot of talented people on that show. Brand new HD master from a 4K scan of the 35mm original camera negative. That's right, guys. Major Payne has been scanned in 4K. This is not a 4K, but that means there might be a Major Payne 4K one of these days. This is from Universal. We got an audio commentary with director Nick Castle. Wait a minute. The Shape? Halloween? Michael Myers? Nick Castle directed Major Payne? I don't think I knew that. I do know that Nick Castle has a cat named Michael Meowers, which is funny. Moderated by filmmaker Douglas Hosdale. There's Not Much You Could Do, interview with actor Michael Ironside. I've heard Michael Ironside is incredibly difficult, but I don't know. Just passing that on. Seems like he might be, right? He seems like he could be very difficult. But let's see how he comes across in this behind the scenes feature, this interview with Michael Ironside. And then the theatrical trailer. Listen, it's totally speculation. I've never talked to Michael Ironside. I have no inside knowledge. Have you? Did you get an autograph with Michael Ironside? How was he? How did he treat you? Let's talk about it. All right, that's Kino Lorber. I believe as I'm recording these ahead of time, I think we've got one more segment that's going to wrap the whole thing up. So let me cut to the Heath of the future, who has not yet recorded that segment, and we will see what the crystal ball has in store for us now. Thanks, Heath, from the past. I've received your message. We're clear to go. Not corny at all. All right, so we got 4 releases that we're going to close with. This is the close. I'm going to kick it off with... How many times did I say kick it off during this conversation? The course of this video. Look at this. This is Magnificent Bodyguards in 3D from 88 Films. I know that there are still some devout... passionate 3D whoa, hold on, you gotta see this 3D enthusiasts, and then there's under that there's the other side of the slipcase, and in this I think Honestly, I think this is yeah. There's like, look at this. There's like this little adhesive here. I guess this is detachable. Does it come? Yeah, it's on the bottom too. So I'm supposing. So yeah, okay, I'll take it off. But then I'm like, well, why? What then? Yeah, okay. 3D, lenticular, and then the clean. It's not clean. You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. You're looking at the same thing I am. All right. Ooh, awfully small print. Jackie Chan. Hold on. You got to have something to look at. Jackie Chan leaps out of the screen in Magnificent Bodyguards. As Lord Tin Chung, he commits to leading a team of warriors escorting a gravely ill man across a treacherous land known as Stormy Hills, a place filled with danger, betrayal, and possible death. But as the journey unfolds, could the mysterious charge be hiding a deadly secret? Directed by Lo Wei, the filmmaker gave the world The Big Boss and Fist of Fury. This is a classic martial arts madness packed with fast-paced action, deadly encounters, larger-than-life characters. For this release, the stereoscopic presentation has been carefully restored with alignments and panel matching work carried over by the team at the 3D Film Archive. Hey, that's Bob Furmanek and team, who I've had on my channel multiple times. Good guys. Helping to bring this rare Hong Kong 3D spectacle back to life as originally intended for the big screen. Limited edition lenticular slipcase with brand new artwork from RP Kung Fu Bob O'Brien. Long Live the King, Crossing the Cloudy Mountain. Illustrated booklet notes by Jackie Chan historian Thorsten Boos. And the features include studying brand new 2K transfer from the original film materials presented in digital 3D, which mirrors the theatrical experience. Flat 2D, so if you're wondering if it has the 2D version, yeah, it does. The Anaglyph 3D, which is going to be red and the red and cyan, the red and blue glasses, which you can enjoy with your own custom pair of 3D glasses included with this disc, and then Mandarin, Cantonese, and English audio, alternate English mono with different music cues, Mandarin and English trailers, audio commentary by Hong Kong cinema experts Frank Zhang, and F.J. DeSanto. Punching into the third dimension, James Mudge on Magnificent Bodyguards. Magnificent Bodyguards, A New Dimension in Action by Steve Lawson, and reversible sleeve featuring original poster arts. By the way, a note on F.J. DeSanto. If memory serves, didn't he used to be a fairly regular guest on the it was Rebel Force Radio now. It used to be the Force Cast years ago, but Rebel Force Radio. F.J. DeSanto. I'm not imagining that, am I? Let me know. If you remember what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments below. All right, let's do it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. Here's our 3D. Oh, the 3D glasses are branded. Look at that. Oh, that's amazing. Look at that. Oh, you know what? I do the thumbnail as the very last thing before the video goes up. I think I got to be wearing these in the thumbnail, don't I? Jackie Chan, Ultimate Martial Arts Action in Super 3D. Those are collectible just on their own. All right. Here's the booklet. Set that aside. Oh, we got reversible art, gang. Yeah, we got to flip it because we've already seen this art on the slipcover. So what? Oh. Let's flip it. You know how we do. Flip it around. Okay, so we got a 3-disc set here. We know disc 1 is the Blu-ray 3D. So if you got a 3D TV, 3D setup, all that stuff, that's what you need. Disc 2 is the 2D. And disc 3 is the Blu-ray Anaglyph 3D for use with the glasses. Nice. Okay, what's in this booklet? Ooh, look at that. Long Live the King, Crossing the Cloudy Mountain by Thorsten Boos. When someone asks me to name a magnificent Jackie Chan film from the 1970s, before the obvious title Magnificent Bodyguards comes to mind, I can think of others which this adjective is more likely to apply. However, that was my train of thought before I hiked through the dangerous Stormy Hills for my in-depth analysis. Let's add another dimension to this 3D spectacle. I guess I won't go page by page. Ooh, text. Won't go page by page here, but whoa, what is this? Hong Kong box office charts from 1977 and 1978. Number 1 was the Heroes of the Eastern Skies. For 1977, 1978, the number 1 movie was The Contract. I'm kind of lost in this book now. Like, this is more than we normally get for these things. Magnifique. C'est magnifique. All right, that is very cool. We're gonna not transfer. What's the word that I'm looking for? We're gonna talk about 3 very different things. I'll leave my glasses off for now. So these are Warner Archive. We got 3 Warner Archive releases. Now, full disclosure, these are like last month's Warner Archive releases. We've got Possessed with John Crawford from 1931, Pre-Code. If you've not seen any of the John Crawford pre-codes, they're pretty cool. I just saved that one for last. The Late Show with Art Carney and Lily Tomlin, and then my highlight here is the Seven Faces of Dr. Lau, which is Tony Randall and Barbara Eden, and it's like, funnily enough too, it's produced and directed by George Powell, who's the guy behind all of the Puppetoons things. So let's do them. I guess we'll do them in the order that I just presented. Oh, but I was going to tell you a story, right? Because these are from last month. These are, I believe they're May releases, and the package got lost. It showed delivered, but I didn't get them. And then, like, days later, after the last Physical Media Monthly, like, ding dong, and it's a neighbor who's like, I got these, I'm sorry. And then, like, it had been like a week or something, so I don't know what's up. But you know, she was jiggling the camera. She brought them to me, so they were just delayed upon their arrival, but I'm really glad that they're here. Now, I haven't watched this or The Late Show. I have never seen The Late Show, but we'll talk about it. It's Joan Crawford and Clark Gable magnetically locked in a passionate affair. One rumored to be as real off-screen as on. She plays an ambitious factory worker who dreams of satin gowns, diamonds, and penthouse apartments. He plays the man able to make her dreams come true. An influential New York lawyer. It's okay. You understand what it is. We've got MGM Dogville comedy short Tales of Morocco, and then classic cartoon Bosco the Doughboy. Bosco! This is directed by Clarence Brown. It's an MGM movie, and it comes from Warner Archive. They're continue to do wonderful things at Warner Archive. The Late Show, I've never seen it. Really looking forward to it. Aging Private Eye, Ira Wells, Art Carney, Academy Award winner Art Carney, has agreed to help a Hollywood kook named Margot, played by Lily Tomlin, to locate her missing cat. Little does he know he's got a tiger by the tail. Written and directed by 3-time Oscar winner Robert Benton, Kramer vs. Kramer. The Late Show is brilliant, funny, and gutsy. A proto-noir homage to 40s detective thrillers like his contemporaries Philip Marlowe and Sam Spade. Gimpy-legged Ira is one of the great ones. Carney won the 1977 National Society of Film Critics Best Actor Award for his work here. Will this one last case and this one flaky lady give him one last chance to prove it? Stay up with The Late Show and solve the mystery. Special features the original theatrical trailer and then a Dinah segment with Lily Tomlin. Now listen, Dinah Shore had the daytime talk show. It was daytime, right? I've never seen a talk show segment presented as a special feature on a Blu-ray before that I can remember. Surely it's probably happened before, but I can't recall ever seeing, like, it's a Merv Griffin segment or Dick Cavett, or I'm trying to think even Mike Douglas or any of these people, because that was the talk show circuit, you know. I don't think I've ever seen one of those presented as a bonus feature on a Blu-ray. And then, of course, this is the classic. This is the thing that frankly, I can't believe that this is not like a 4-disc, you know, like super duper special edition. Bolt the doors, lock the windows. Dr. Lau's coming to town. MGM, 7 Faces of Dr. Lau. A spellbinding one-of-a-kind fantasy starring Tony Randall in 7 roles. Imagine a dusty western town on a hot afternoon in the summer. Suddenly, a bearded man named Dr. Lau appears out of nowhere, perched atop a yellow mule and prepared to change the town forever with his magical, mystical circus. So begins this enchanting fantasy adventure starring Tony Randall in the most remarkable role of his career. Who is Dr. Lau, and why has he ridden into Avalon to present his unique circus? Before the answers are revealed, the astonished town people are shown Dr. Lau's dazzling series of parables and visions in makeup so extraordinary that it received a special Academy Award for MGM's legendary William Tuttle. The good doctor assumes different guises that range from the abominable snowman to Merlin the magician. By the time he vanishes, people learn a lot about pride and self-resilience. Co-starring John Erickson and Barbara Eden, based on the popular novel by Charles G. Finney, and produced and directed by special effects wizard George Pal, 7 Faces of Dr. Lau has become a timeless and classic beloved classic of fantasy cinema. Special feature, vintage featurette, King of the Duplicators, Tom and Jerry cartoon, the cat above and the mouse below, and the original theatrical trailer. This is really magical, and I'm so excited that it is here from Warner Archive. Bring on the 4K is what I say. This is a Blu-ray. Bring on the 4K. Guys, it's the end of another Physical Media Monthly. You did it. We went through, I mean, I don't even know how many releases that was because I haven't tallied it all up yet, but these continue to get bigger and bigger to the point that I'm actually thinking it may be time to go bi-weekly with these, to do them twice a month now. I'm just not sure. I do know that as I'm posting these things, you know, the end of the month is almost here, but I also know if there's like 3 more packages of new releases that are on their way. So it will already be out of date by the time this goes up, is my point, which is just, it's crazy. It's the best of times. It's the worst of times. It's only the worst of times if you're trying to keep up with all this stuff. And if you're trying to buy everything that I cover in this video, which I hope that you're not. I hope, you know, the purpose of these, I'm not selling these to you. I try to make that very clear because people tell me, my wallet hates you. I just want you to know what's coming out. And I want you to know what I think about the things that are coming out. There's plenty of things that actually are coming out that I have nothing to say. Just nothing to say about them. Don't care. Not interested. So why would I cover those? But these things really speak to me, and hopefully you're able to sort of choose what works best for you, what you want to add to your collection. Information. That I'm just trying to inform my audience, and that the information is the name of the game. The more you know. G.I. Joe always said it best, right? The more you know, now you know, like, well, there's too many DVDs, Duke. Well, to me, everybody knows you shouldn't buy all the DVDs, but it's all right to buy the ones you want, put them on your shelf, and watch them at your convenience. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Thanks, Duke. G.I. Joe. That's a good place to wrap it up. I think I'm heat delusional. Thank you guys. I appreciate you so very much. There are links in the description of this video and every video that will take you to my hundreds of reviews at serialatmidnight.com. That will take you to my eBay store. There's an Amazon link. If you're going to be shopping on Amazon already, please use that link because it's a way to support Serial at Midnight without you having to do anything else. We got so many more cool things coming. Interviews that are already in the can. More commentary announcements for things I've already done but I can't talk about. It's all coming soon. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Take care. Till next time, I'll catch you later.